Memphis.
In 1958, after making a mark in Memphis, the Hawk was invited to play Canada.
We came to Canada just for excitement. We wanted to see igloos and dog sleds and Indians and all, because that's the only thing they showed us in their geography books about Canada. So we thought we were coming to the Yukon 1840. But when we got here, it's the promised land. Canada is the promised land, and I've been preaching it all my life.
Ronnie loved his new home and his new country so much, he didn't leave. He formed a band with a young drummer named Levon Helm, a guitarist named Robbie Robertson, and 3 other teenagers from the London, Ontario area. Ronnie's backup band was called the Hawks. By 1963, the 5 musicians headed to the U.S. to back up Bob Dylan, eventually hitting international fame as the band.
The band, second best thing Canada ever produced.
In 1976, the Hawk reunited with his old group at the band's farewell concert, captured in the film The Last Waltz.
Come on, Robbie, let's take a little walk, Timmy.
I mean, whether he knows it or not, he was a very good teacher of good things and bad things. He didn't draw any lines there. It was like you're going to have to learn it all, good and bad. But he was a great teacher for me.
Throughout the years, many people have passed through the Hawks, often referred to as a rock and roll boot camp. Ronnie had given breaks to so many that used the experience to forge ahead to follow their own path to stardom, including world-renowned Uber producer David Foster.
Everybody, including David Foster, has come back after they've left and thanked me and told me I was right. Even David Foster. I fired David Foster. Well, about a year later, he come back and said, Ronnie, I've learned enough now that you were absolutely right. If I'd have been you, I'd have fired me too.
But this guy has seen, he's been to the fair and seen the moon. There's no doubt about it.
But when you've been around as long as I have, you got to see a little something. Boy, I tell you, when I started here on Young Street, it wasn't paved yet.
One-time Hawks include Burton Cummings, David Clayton Thomas, Janis Joplin's Full Tilt Boogie Band, Amy Skye, and Larry Gowan.
He is one of rock and roll's founders, and people have recognized that here for a long time. But more and more, I love mentioning the fact that I played with him because his legend just goes larger and larger. And if you don't believe me, he'll tell you so himself.
I got into Ronnie's band straight out of University of Toronto. I had a degree in music composition, and I learned more than anything with a year in his band. I learned how to play rock and roll, and I learned how to really put heart into the music.
I just happen to be there. This happens, and that happens, and that happens just by coincidence. But I've always been there while the big time has been. I never have done it myself, but I've enjoyed watching other boys make it.
But they will always cite you, and they will always name you.
I'm hoping I can borrow a little money off of them on these days, you know?
Nobody is more representative of the music of Canada and a great champion of Canadian musicians and Canadian music than Ronnie Hawkins. Every time I see Ronnie, I feel like I'm seeing Elvis. You know what I mean?
He's incredibly hilarious and loquacious and beautiful.
The Hawk would become great friends with some of the most respected stars in the biz, including Bob Dylan and John Lennon. John and Yoko even lived with Ronnie at his Mississauga farm in 1969 to organize the Toronto Peace Concert. The Hawk has lived a life most people can only dream about. He has changed and influenced the lives of countless stars. He's not only a singer and songwriter, but also a record company owner and actor. In 1985, he was part of Northern Lights, Canada's contribution to aid famine-stricken Ethiopia. He's performed for prime ministers, the Queen, and was even handpicked by Bill Clinton to perform at the president's inauguration. He's won Junos, including a Lifetime Achievement Award in 1996, and in 2002, the Hawk was honored with a star on Canada's Walk of Fame.
He took me and my band in like we were part of the family and rode us around in his Rolls Royce. And if there's a god of rock and roll, I know he looks just like this guy.
Thank you.
Can there be an end ever